I felt too.
What about you, Byron?
My anniversary is like earlier in the year, so like I think it's July 26th. If it's not the 26th, then it's the 28th. But this year we weren't able to celebrate it because I was out of town when we were supposed to be celebrating it. But I made her like a outfit out playlist, and we just kind of talked, and we watched a movie later that day, like over the internet. Like we were on like a video call, and that's how I spent my anniversary this year.
That's cute.
I don't think my girlfriend's too big on anniversaries, so I haven't celebrated like any like smaller milestones in a year. But I do know that in some other relationships, we kind of celebrated smaller milestones. I can't talk, but yeah. So how often do you guys celebrate anniversaries? Maybe not in your current relationship if it's only been once or you don't celebrate it, but like in general, how often would you celebrate an anniversary?
I would say, well, in my past relationship, we celebrated month by month, like like any other relationship, because that was my first relationship, and it just started out and all, and so we just kind of appreciate each other each and every month. Like we always plan to hang out specifically on the 28th of every month because that's when we first started dating. Like it was like I think November 28th. I'm pretty sure. That's when we
Okay, I
first
feel
started
less bad
dating.
for remembering my old anniversary too.
Yeah, because like I remember it because like it's like it's scarring in a way, but like it was once important to me. So how can you forget something that was once important to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we made it clear on the 28th of every month to try and see each other or at least hang out like through FaceTime or you know. And sometimes he would tell me like, "Oh, I can't make it," and then he would make it, and it'd just be like a whole surprise, like, "Oh my god," Like, we celebrate it month by month, but from now, like my point of view now and my relationship now makes me realize, like like you just gotta live in the moment. Maybe we can just celebrate year by year, or maybe like we'll celebrate whenever we want to.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like decided, like undecided, but like whenever we want to, we can just look back and, be like, damn, like time is really flying by. I'm glad I'm sharing this moment with you. I'm sharing these years with you and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really am glad that I shared this year with my boyfriend after all the hardships I put in. He deserves the world, and I appreciate him so much. And if he's listening to this, I love you.
Yeah.
So, in previous relationships, I've tried to celebrate every 3 months or so, or acknowledge it at least every 3 months. Because I feel like 3 months are like a good milestone up until you hit a year. And then once you hit a year, then I just figured celebrate every year.
Yeah. I was in like a really, really long relationship. It was like 3 years, right? And so we celebrated, I remember, every month until the first anniversary. And then after that, it was just like every year it'd be like a little thing. It wouldn't be anything like too special, And so like definitely like a step up with my relationship now than back then. I think only just like celebration wise. I mean, there's plenty of other reasons, of course, but like yeah. And so I remember the first boyfriend I ever had. I was a freshman in high school, and I was dating this guy who very sus. I'll just say that. Anyways, so he would get a ring pop, like the candy ring pop, and every like month on our anniversary, he would fake a proposal in front of people, and it was so cringe. And right now I'm like, having like a moment within myself remembering this. Because, like, could you imagine, like, two freaking freshmen, emo freshmen, by the way. Like, I was in the depths
Oh
of
my
my
goodness,
emo
if I
phase.
I'm sorry, but if I were to see you when I was a freshman, I probably would have laughed. Can't
Yeah,
lie.
no, people did.
Yeah, I would have been laughing.
Yeah, no. And so, like, the thing is like, I was pretty self-aware back then, too. And so I was like, I know this is cringe. I know this physically hurts everyone else around me and also myself. But if it makes him happy, then I will go through this embarrassment and continue to be bullied because of it. Anything for you, sweetie, you know, that type beat. And so, long story short, that relationship lasted a whole 4 months. And then,
Oh my goodness.
you know how it be. And then I was like, yeah, no, this is crazy. You're insane. You got issues, different, so much happening. And I don't think I should talk about, like, things that he was into because it's just weird.
Oh man. Oh man, that's
Actually, you know what? If you want to edit this out, you can, but I'm going to get this off my chest. He had a belly button fetish.
What? Wait, no. Explain that. I don't get that.
Okay. So, this is an honest story. Like, you could literally ask anyone. They'll be like, yeah, Bethany's first boyfriend would, like, play with her belly button in the hallway as they're walking to class. And he would, like, whisper in my ear, and he'd be like, have my babies. And I'm like,
what?
You know, I'm like 15, brother. I'm trying to make it past 16 and pregnant. Like, I don't want to be on MTV like that, you know? And so, maybe for other reasons, but not like that. And so I'm just like, I think about it sometimes. I don't have like hate towards this man because it honestly just didn't work out with us. You know, we were in high school. It's like PIMDAS, just cancel that hoe out. And so like, yeah, I just look back at it now and I kind of just laugh because like there's so much that was just happening. Like it's so cringe. And like he was just sexually attracted to belly buttons and like I don't think I could ever get past that.
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
That's definitely one of the weirder kinks I've heard.
Man, I was playing with your belly button and whispering in your ear. Oh nah, man, I'm just gonna have to toss him. Like
We broke up like several times throughout those 4 months.
Yo, that's...
You know, and like I don't know why I kept getting back together with him. Did that happen to y'all? Did y'all have an off and on relationship like that where it's like every 3 weeks you break up and then you're like you spend a weekend apart and you're like, oh my god, I love you. Take me back.
Maybe not that, but in my first 2 relationships, there have been like breaks between like the relationship and finishing the relationship. Like, in my first relationship, I was in 8th grade. Me and the girl dated for like 3 months straight.
Wow.
And that was like amazing to me because I had never ever like, I want to say like been in a relationship for 3 months, but I mean that was my first relationship, so it was just like eye-opening, I guess. And then we broke up. Then a few months later, when we were in 9th grade, we got back together for a few months, and then we broke up again. Then when I met my last girlfriend in 10th grade, we got together, and we were together until the end of the school year. That was like maybe 5 or 6 months. Then whenever summer rolled around, we broke up, and we got back together a few months into 11th grade, and we didn't end up breaking up until we went to college.
Oh, dang.
But that's the most on and off I've been.
I mean, I was on and off with a guy, but we weren't like actually like dating. Like we were just talking. Like there would be, it's like we would have like good moments talking. Like he would be like the sweetest guy ever, and just talk to me like I'm actually human, and like he would treat me nice, and like whenever I was having like some self doubts or something like that, he would reassure me. and everything like that. And then like, but he would always have this like weird thing about him where he like say all this stuff and then just like stop like talking to me for like hours in a day, maybe even a whole day, just like don't even talk to me or reply to me. And I'm just like, oh, like, sorry, did I annoy you, this and that? And then the next day he'd be like, no, like, I'm just focused on this and that, this and that. And I was like, just like, okay,
That's weird.
That's what
okay, like,
that's what my first relationship was like near the end of it. Like,
mm-hmm.
we would talk pretty much every day, but sometimes it'd be like we'd talk for a little bit whenever we got home from school, and then I'd just be ignored until she saw me at school the next day, and that fucking sucked. But
Yeah, it's just like the communication wasn't really there. Like, I didn't know you were busy. I didn't know you got busy. I just felt like you were ignoring me. You didn't want to talk to me. So, like, it just, like, it broke it off a couple times, and I found myself wanting to talk to him again. And I reach out like an idiot, and I'm like, hey, like, what's up? Like, it's been a while. I just wanted to see how you're doing. I miss you. And they'd be like, oh, I miss you too. Like, we should talk. We should hang out. We should play some games if you want to. Like, you can come over and play. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. And like, it's just this whole thing again, and it becomes weird, and it's just like, all right, man, like, I'm sorry, like, I can't do that with you anymore.
Yeah.
so now that I'm
And
actually
it repeats.
remembering that relationship, like my first one, like more details about it, I do remember that we got together in like December, but then between December, January, and February, we barely talked. Like, I think I got punished for my phone or something, and so I was only able to talk to her over Skype. And then there was like, I think, weeks we didn't talk to each other, and then one day she just reached out to me and she was like, hey, maybe we should break up. But yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like terrible because I mean I wanted to break up at that point too. I just couldn't get in contact with her.
Yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
like we're in a relationship, but we're not even talking to each other. What's the point of this?
Yeah, I had one of those. It lasted an entire week. Essentially, like, this guy, like, he was in my friend group and stuff. And again, okay, I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I was emo throughout the entirety of high school and like the first 2 like years of college. And so maybe a little bit now. Yikes. Anyways, it was self-reflection time. Anyways, so this guy, he was just like talking to me and all that other crap. And so like he asked me out, right? And then I would literally only tell him like good morning and good night because that was the only time he would actually respond to me. And then the rest of the time he was just playing Destiny 2, like the entire time.
Oh my goodness. Gamer.
I know, gamer alert. I mean, maybe y'all should be oppressed.
That's my boyfriend, TBH. That's my boyfriend and him playing Call of Duty. I'm just like, hello.
Yes. Oh my gosh. My boyfriend, he be playing League of Legends like all the time.
Oh my goodness.
All the time. And so
Yo.
I'm like, can I please get some attention? And then he's like, I'm with the boys. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And so that's hardly like ever though. But like most times I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go to bed because it's 2 a.m. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to play with the boys. And I'm like, okay, have fun. And so like, I would like start to barely fall asleep. And then you can hear just him like loud cursing in Spanish. And I'm like, hello. It's 4 a.m.
Hello.
I got an exam tomorrow. And there was one time he was up till like 8 a.m. playing with the boys. And I was like, I have a test tomorrow. Like, what the hell, bro? And he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I forgot you had an exam. And I was like, why are you up to 8 a.m. playing League anyways? Like,
addicted.
He's literally addicted. But you know what? Whatever sparks joy for him, like, I'm in for it. And like, that's how he gets to play with his friends. And like, I remember like, he got me to download Among Us, And so I would play with him and some of my friends. And there was one time I was playing with my friends, and then he was playing with his own. And so, we're in like an efficiency style apartment thing. So, it's just one long room. And so he's like yelling in Spanish, loudly cursing at his friends, calling them very rude names. And so then my friends, because like my mic is on, because we're talking, they just hear like these loud, like explicits. You know what I mean? Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, they're like, Bethany, who is cursing in Spanish? Like, he's saying a lot of really nasty things to whoever's he's talking to. I was like, oh, it's just my boyfriend. He's just playing with the boys. And they're like, he treats them like that? And I'm like, I mean, they're yelling the same stuff back to him. I guess that's just how they communicate. I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, as long as
there's
there's
a lot
like
of-
respect between them, I don't see a problem with
Oh,
it.
yeah, no, definitely.
There's a lot of weird ships between like boys and their friends. Like I've witnessed how my boyfriend is with his friends, and all I gotta say, he's kind of sus when he's with his friends. And his friends
Yes.
are sus too. But that's like the beauty of their like that friendship though, and I honestly think it's really hilarious, and I like to tease him about it.
Yeah.
But I like seeing that with him and his friends, that he can, feel comfortable with them and they can be the same, I envy that because obviously, I don't really have much friends. Like, I do have friends, but I don't have much. Like, I don't really communicate much like that.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me uncomfortable a little bit.
I know, like, maybe it's just like a gamer thing. I don't know. But, like, even my brother, like, with his friends, I'll hear him, like, screaming at 2 a.m., like, yelling at his friends, saying some nasty things, and then saying some, like, dirty stuff. And he's, like, yelling stuff like, I'm going to touch your booty if you don't, like, play right or something like that. And I'm like, bro, what the hell? It's like 2 a.m. Stop horny posting. Like, can you please stop? And so, like, I'm trying to go to sleep, and I hear my boyfriend and my brother, like, depending on whatever, like, where I'm staying at for the night, and I'm just hearing them, like, talk about, like, like touching tips or something. Like, it's weird. And so I'm like, do you mind?
Oh my goodness. I don't want to expose my boyfriend, but he'd be like, pussy. And he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, princess.
Honestly, that is like,
To them. And I'm just like, huh?
yes, my boyfriend.
Like, why don't you talk to me like that?
I know, right? Like, my brother, like, to his, like, friends would be like, you're such a bitch, blah, 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 act right. And then, like, literally 2 seconds later, they're making, like, moaning sounds. Like, the ones that, like, the fifth graders that would make. Like the, that stuff. And they're like, oh, yeah? And I'm like, bruh,
Oh my God.
bruh, it is 4 a.m. Shut up. Go to bed.
Oh my God. That's just boys for you.
Honestly. Byron, do you do stuff
Boys
like
when
that?
they're with their friends.
Like what?
I mean, like everything we just talked about. Like, do you make, like, noises whenever you play your games?
Maybe not those noises. Like, I might scream or just like, ah! But that's only, like, when I get, like, frustrated or something. Like, I don't do all that, like, sexual noises and stuff. I know some people do it just to, like, make people feel uncomfortable.
No, she ain't as new. Oh, called out the bussy boys.
Pussy boys.
But yeah, I don't do anything like that really. I just play games.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I do realize that when I think I was watching you, Handboy, and Denishan play Infinite Warfare, and you're pretty calm. Like you weren't really like acting different. Oh, and Miguel was there too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I think you and Miguel were like the calmest ones out of the bunch. Like Miguel would freak out with the zombies. He'd be like, "Oh my God," and you'd be like, "Fuck," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And Handboy and Denishan would just be like, I don't know, they'd be talking to each other sometimes, and they'd just be saying some weird shit.
Yeah.
games. Like, I mean, that's how it usually is, though, in the chat.
Boys in their games. What can I say?
Exactly. Oh my god, maybe this should have been like a whole different topic.
Boys in their games.
Boys in their games.
Next week on poofcast. Boys in their games.
So you guys said that you have given gifts and you've gotten gifts from your partner for anniversaries, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the worst gift someone's given you for your anniversary?
Wow.
Well, there wasn't no worst gift. I either didn't receive a gift or I got one, and all the gifts that I got were genuinely amazing. I got a huge teddy bear. I got a poster. Like somebody made one of my exes made a poster board about us.
That's so cute.
And like just wrote how much he liked me, and he got me a teddy bear. He got me some chocolate. He got me roses, and then another one gave me just like a teddy bear. It was like he gave me his teddy bear from when he was a young boy.
Oh, that's like.
And honestly, like there's a lot of like sentiment to it, and you know, I kept it. And you know, this was my ex that I dated for like a year and 7 months. Like he gave me like a teddy bear that he's had since he was a kid. And obviously, when we did break up, I did give it back because like I felt bad if I kept it.
Yeah.
You know, because like obviously we're not together anymore, and it obviously meant a lot to him for him to give it to me and trust me with it. So I gave it back, and you know.
God, I wish my ex was as considerate as you are, because when we broke up, she just sold some of the stuff I gave her.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that she didn't sell, she just kind of put it to the side, I guess. But I gave her a blanket that I've been having since I was like really little.
Yeah.
Because she was like moving away. And I was like, oh, I'll just give you this so you can have something that's important to me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, yeah,
I don't know if she still has that blanket or not, but I'm mad that I haven't gotten it back yet if she does.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you just, like, even though, like, it ended in a harsh way, like, I was still very considerate of how he felt about, like, certain items and how, like, attached they were to the item.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, the clothes that he gave me, I fucking threw those out. I burned them or I threw them out. But
Nice.
teddy bear, I was just like, I can't do any of that because it just won't sit right on my conscience. So I gave it back.
That's fair.
So.
That's fair.
Well, Bethany, what's the worst thing you've gotten as a gift from a partner?
All right. Story time. So I was in a relationship. It was not a good relationship. Horrible relationship. Not the point. The point is, guy's a dick. But, so 1 month, I had given him like a stuffed like animal, right? You know, and so like I'm in high school. Ooh, bad point. So I'm in high school at this point, and so like, you know, I don't really have a job yet because I just didn't have a job. And so, you know, whatever money I had, I got from my mom. So like I got him like a $2 teddy bear, right? But it's not the price that matters. It's the thought behind it, right? You know? Sentimental value or some crap. And so, like, the next month, he gave it back to me and said that he went out and got it. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, this is the same thing. It's the same thing. And he's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, if you didn't want it, you could have just said so. Like, you don't have to be rude about that. I don't know. I am bitter still.
Jackass.
Yeah, honestly. I'm like, okay, thank you. And then, like...
I mean, at least the gift you got was a gift. You know, you want to hear, like, a funny gift that I got on an anniversary?
I would love to hear.
Same.
So, the anniversary of the first relationship I was in, like, obviously there was a break between the halves of the relationship. There was the part that was in 8th, the part that was in 9th. Well, like I said, she just randomly reached out to me and we broke up one day. But the day that we broke up on was actually the day we got together. and the last time we got together. And that
Damn.
shit, like, even though the breakup wasn't really that bad to me, like, the fact that it was a year since the first time we got together, it, like, kind of bothered me, but not as much.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But
I
yeah,
can see how that would sting a little bit more
yeah.
than anything.
Uh, but what's the best gift you guys have gotten?
Well, considering considering me and my boyfriend now, we have each other. Well, I sent him my address, but he didn't keep it. Freaking.
Wow.
Anyway, right.
Wow.
I kept his address because like I bought a PS4 controller with a Akatsuki, like little like custom made PS4 controller basically. I bought him a little figure of Madara, which is his like favorite character from Naruto, and I bought him like a jumper. And like I plan on sending it to him like soon, but it's just hard to find a box that fits everything. And like I want it to be extra secure and safe because them motherfuckers be throwing packages. I seen that. I don't like
Yes.
that. Like I don't want anything to be broken when it gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like
like
especially crappy going through customs and everything too, because by the time I get boxes from like places that ship from overseas, it's like beaten
Yeah.
up or it's like dusty and
Exactly.
stuff, and I'm like, damn, how long did you guys have this?
see, yeah, and that's another problem because it's being sent overseas. So like they just kind of manhandle the thing like yo, like it's important, fragile, sir.
Fragile.
But I mean, I guess what my like the best gift I ever gotten for an anniversary. It was not something that was bought, but something that a person gave me, which is my boyfriend now, and he gave me the attention that I wanted and I needed, and he spent time with me on a special day, even though I know even though I know that anniversaries weren't so important to him. He still spent time with me, and just kind of like we just appreciated each other in that time frame. And like that's like the best gift that someone like me could even ask for. It's just like a bunch of mental reassurance and proof that he loves me and all that. Like it's really nice. It's really nice being with my boyfriend, even though I'm like almost with him almost every single day. Like every day just gets better and better in my opinion. Like we always know how to have a good time, even when it started off a little rough when we talked. But
Yeah.
we always know how to like make each other smile and laugh and just enjoy each other's company. And that's all I could ask for is just being happy and just enjoying our time together.
That's sweet.
That's a really great gift, actually. Like that's so sweet. It's like it's not even like a physical gift unless like you kind of count his body as physical, but like
Yeah.
but like that's really sweet. I really like that.
Yeah, he's genuinely the sweetest guy, and I've made a lot of mistakes in seeing him in a bad light and freaking out and all that stuff. But he's truly an angel, and he deserves a lot, and I appreciate him. And I feel very bad for expecting more out of him when he's given me everything.
Yeah.
Well, Bethany, what's the best gift you've received or received?
So like from a sentimental value aspect, it would be my anniversary, like that happened like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. And so just because like he put a lot of thought and effort into these gifts and just like how he presented and stuff like that, because he was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm incredibly nervous and I'm scared you're not gonna like it. So he like tossed it at me, like the bag, and I was like, dude, I'm probably gonna like it. It came from you. Like, if you gave me like a stale cracker, I'd probably frame it because it's like, oh, it came from you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so like I start crying because I'm opening it, and I'm like, dude, this is really sweet. And like I get to the CD, and like on the CD, he got one of our friends to actually like paint us like on the
Oh my
cover,
goodness.
and it's so cute. And like the little rat thing, stuffed animal rat that he gave me, like she had also painted that on the cover, like in the
Oh my
corner as well.
goodness.
And so at first I was, because I hadn't opened that part yet, and so I was like, oh my